So I have a confession to make here on camera. I am a big Jackass fan. I have been for a long time, dating all the way back to the premiere of the original Jackass film, which now, thanks to the miracle of modern technology, I can watch on my phone whenever I want, as well as the follow-up movies, Jackass 2 and 3, and all of the Jackass episodes from MTV. If you're not familiar with what Jackass is, basically, it is a group of guys that do really stupid things on camera, whether it's kind of gross, talking about vomiting on camera, or a lot of poop jokes, or whether it's self-injurious, like getting gored by bulls, or taking diggers down a hill on wakeboards, to other just really dumb things. This show never ceases to make me laugh. Whenever I'm having a rough day or a rough week, if I start watching these episodes, all of that sadness or anger or frustration tends to go away. Unfortunately, Jackass is not really a thing anymore. With the passing of Ryan Dunn and with Steve-O going through some things and Bam Margera going through some things, the group is kind of spread apart, which is understandable. I think that you you either have to be not quite a full deck up top or maybe under the influence of some things to do the crazy things on camera that they did. The cool part is that they actually got paid for doing it. Now, this is one of the few times on this particular show that we're going to be opening up an M-rated game, and I kind of debated about whether or not I wanted to do this on camera, but because it's the lower end of a mature rated game and not really like crazy violent, I thought that I could get away with it on camera today. And I am, of course, talking about the 2007 PlayStation 2 release, Jackass the Game. Now, this game had been in development for a long time, was caught in development hell before eventually being released. And when it was, I think I was one of maybe 8 people that was really interested in the game because I enjoyed the series and the films so very much. I actually have a copy of this that I picked up when I was starting to collect for my PS2, but the game is not in great shape. It does tend to skip or get caught up or hung from time to time, so it'll be nice to have a new copy that I can unseal for this show, talk a little bit about it, and then go ahead and play it on my own time. So, this is Jackass the Game from 2007. There is what the back of the case looks like. It says, all the injury, idiocy, and low moral caliber you expect from the special group of degenerates. They do not shy away from picking on themselves or basically just kind of saying how it is. Johnny Knoxville and Jackass crew are knee-deep in their latest series of ill-conceived stunts, pranks, and acts of indecency, and this time you are in the director's seat. So you get to be Jeff Tremaine in this particular instance. Over 30 crazy stunts lets you take the Jackass crew through humanly impossible levels of danger and mayhem, win big or lose bigger, do it right or break every bone in your body trying. It's all about entertainment. A detailed injury system details every impact from broken legs to cracked skulls, dish out maximum punishment to crank up your high score. There's also multiplayer here as well. That's one of the cool things about this game is when you're doing these stunts, you actually get graded on how poor or how much you injure yourself and how much the hospital bill is. That's basically kind of like your score. So that is something that's pretty funny or maybe not so funny depending on how you look at it. Again, this is a mature-rated game for crude humor, language, mild blood, sexual themes, and violence. The sexual themes are really loose in this game. Again, it is a low-grade M, if there's such a thing, but it is rated M, so just so you know that for those of you who may not be 17 checking this out. So let's go ahead and open this up. There isn't a label at the top, by the way. Back at this time in 2007 and beyond, Sony was doing away with those. So we're going to go ahead and just get this open. And this is going to be a rather short episode of Unsealed this time around. Oh, can I get it open? That is the question. There we go. Yep. And when I take the seal off, when we take a look at the game itself, there is the manual as well. And we'll take a look at the manual here as we always do. The disc art is just like my shirt here. This is actually an official Jackass the Game t-shirt, which you can't see on camera, but that's okay. The manual is not very big. It is only about... they don't even have page numbers. It's probably about maybe 15 pages in length. It is in color, though, which is kind of nice. Here is what the inside of the manual looks like. And the way that the game basically works, as I mentioned, is you get to play the director of various Jackass episodes, so you have to take part in various mini games. They are not full gameplay modes, but there are various mini games. One of them will have you guiding one of the characters down a hillside and trying to cause as much injury to the character as possible. Another one recreates the Party Boy sketch, which is basically almost like a Dance Dance Revolution kind of rhythm mini game. There are a couple of those kind of games or kind of features within the game. Another one puts you on the top of a garbage can as you kind of surf or wakeboard around town, grinding various objects and trying to avoid massive injury. There's various ones here. I don't know if they list them all. I can look here, but I don't think that's the case. And it's funny, the manual is written like show notes would be, which I think is kind of neat. And as you finish all of these stunts, you gain money, and you have to gain a certain amount of money each season to be renewed. And once you do that, you unlock a Jackass character and you move on. There are also some unlockables in the game, like some short segments from Jackass episodes, which I always enjoy watching, although it's easier to just watch these than it is to unlock them. But nonetheless, there are nice features to have on there. Plus, there are some voiceover sessions and some other things with the Jackass crew as well. It is not the best game. You'll definitely notice if you play it that it was caught up in development hell. It feels kind of unfinished or not fleshed out or as fleshed out as it could be. But nonetheless, if you're looking for some gameplay and some fun that you can just kind of turn your brain off and do it, there are definitely worse games than this to be able to play. And it does stay fairly accurate to the nature of the show. It's definitely freewheeling and non-caring and overall funny if you're willing to let yourself laugh at things like that. You can find this online. New copies are more difficult to find and tend to run more expensive. But if you wanted to get just the game itself, especially complete, you can usually get it for about $10. And again, it's a low-grade M. It's not something that I think your parents would freak out about if you're under 17. But nonetheless, there are some things in this game that may not be suitable for younger kids, so make sure you check that out before you check out Jackass the game. As for myself, I am now headed out the door and on my way to go see Alice in Chains and Korn. So I will see you next time. In the meantime, thanks for watching Unsealed. Take care of yourselves and each other, and I'll see you.